So glad you're here. Let's start. Well, here we are. Virtual Halston, episode 15. 15. I thought when we started this, I'd do maybe 4 or 5, but no, the demand is great. And we're very excited. We have we have an icon today, Linda Lavin. Think you've heard of her. It's very exciting. I have, of course, my Ardell Wispies and my adult beverage. We're very excited that you're here. And I have a little order of business before we begin. Number one, of some dear friends of mine, Robin Goodman, Alex Frazier, and Michaela Murphy from the Bucks County Playhouse. I want to do a shout out to them. They do fantastic work there, and they're having a big virtual event. Dear Liar, the director is Mark Brokaw. I've worked with Mark Brokaw. He directed Cinderella with Santino Fontana, who was on our show. And Brian Cox and Marsha Mason. I think you've heard of them. They're going to be starring in it. So I think Ruby might have an actual little virtual address. There you go. Do that. Buy some tickets and support the Bucks County Playhouse. That is wonderful. That should be a very special event. Now, I have on another note, a sincere apology to Robin Milling. On episode 5 of Virtual Halston, when I was talking to Santino Fontana, we had a little clip with Santino talking to Stephen Holt from the Stephen Holt Show. However, the YouTube clip said, the Stephen Holt Show with Robin Milling talking to Santino Fontana. So I didn't know if it was Stephen Holt or Robin. I thought it was Robin Milling. It was not. Robin Milling is a lovely, lovely woman who has her own talk show called Milling About, and she interviews celebrities, and she was on that show after Santino Fontana. So there was a big mix-up, I'm sorry to say, and my sincere apologies to Robin Milling. And we have some links for Robin because she has her own fun show. There you go. She also has an Apple podcast. So please give her a listen. She's lovely. So here we go. We have a show now, and I'm going to introduce my partner in crime. I think you know him, Mr. Cass Party. In fact, he's a party all to himself. Welcome, everyone. Jim Caruso.
I'm a party waiting to happen.
You're a party waiting to happen, except right now you're blank. We hear you, but we don't see you.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Ruby,
so maybe Ruby might have to come in. You know, Ruby's busy behind the scenes like the Wizard of Oz.
I'm flying in. Here's the wizard. Jim, I can see you. This is very
I can see
Now
me.
I can see Jim.
Oh.
Now I can see him. He flew in. Bye,
Bye, Ruby.
Bye, Ruby. Anyway, my dear.
That was terrifying. Hi. Well, I'm fine. I'm well. You and I are both, we've never been busier. It took a global pandemic for my career to finally take off.
Global pandemic. I have never been busier.
Nothing pays, but it's all fun. I'm having a blast.
I wake up at 8 in the morning. I don't rest until 11 at night.
Is that true? Are you a napper?
No.
Yeah,
no,
it's
I
hard
wish
for
I
me
was.
too.
Not a napper.
I have to be basically in a coma to take a nap, but but things have been great. I've been working, as you know, on the Radio Free Birdland concert series.
I saw Billy Stritch, who happens to be one of my favorite performers anyway. It's not like I wouldn't want to watch him. It's, Jim, these concerts are so beautifully done. You've done a great job. The Birdland setup has been amazing. Billy,
it's like a little TV studio downstairs in the Birdland Theater. It's really wonderful.
It really is.
I'm thrilled. And we have some great people coming up, including one Julie Halston. What's the date? September
17th. You can watch me do my act for no one. For no one. But I think you're going to laugh.
They're going to laugh.
I think they will.
They're going to laugh.
Yeah.
It's so much fun. And yesterday we had Jessica Vosk do her concert, who is just an extraordinary Broadway singer. She's been Elphaba, among many other things, and a great jazz singer named Gabrielle Stravelli. Both of them came in and just were almost overwhelmed, touched by the fact that they get to perform on the stage again with their musician, and everybody's socially distanced, and the place is spotless. We spray down every microphone, every piano key. So it's incredibly safe. But it's been a real joy to be part of something that's so lovely. So yes, Billy Stritch was last night. And then the cool thing is it premieres, but then it stays on the site at BroadwayWorld.com on demand for 30 days. So you can see it for 30 days. There's a small cover, but it's, it keeps people working and it keeps people entertained.
Well, it also is soul providing. It's nourishment for our souls. When I filmed my episode of Radio Free Birdland, opening the door to Birdland, going down those stairs, stepping on that stage. These are rituals that are so important to performers, and to have everyone doing the right thing and everyone being so respectful of artists, which Birdland has always been so respectful of artists. It's soul nourishment. And, you can't really, that's priceless.
Yeah. And then on the other side of the camera are hundreds or thousands or with you, probably millions of people that are just wrapped and being entertained. And that's soul nourishing for them.
Absolutely.
So it's a great series, beautifully shot. Ryan Patternite is directing and running the cameras himself, all three of them. It's a skeleton crew. Ryan on cameras, sound and light, and then me in a mask, lurking in a corner.
Right,
somewhere.
Laughing at my pathetic jokes. Yeah.
Alone.
Alone. And as if you haven't heard you could do my act. You are, in fact, me.
I'm the understudy of you.
You really are. Now, talking about me, because it's actually all about me.
Let's do.
We just got one of the funniest imitation of Julie audio files, but it actually had a little graphic with it too. Our first woman imitation of Julie.
Okay, this is crazy. A woman doing you?
Yes.
What kind of weird showbiz insanity is this?
Can you imagine? And I was so excited because we've gotten quite a few imitation of Julie, and we will be picking a winner. And of course, the winner will be getting the Darling Cup and also my, a pair of wispies. And I might throw in some duo eyelash adhesive. But this is our first woman. All the submissions have been men. And go figure. What do you think that's about?
When I don't want to name drop because, when we do, we all have to applaud.
Yes.
But when Carol Channing came to Cast Party, I said to her on stage, you must see millions of Carol Channing impersonators. Do you ever want to give any of them notes? I thought that was kind of a good question.
I do too.
And she said, well, no, but I'm always so surprised that they're all men. Are you really surprised, Carol?
Are you really surprised?
After a 70-year career. So she had the same issues.
Well, you know what? To have the same issues as Carol Channing, I'll take it. And with that, I'm going to have my little adult beverage. You know what I'm having today, darling? Well, tonight.
What?
What are you having? Coffee or Coke?
Coca-Cola.
Coca-Cola. I'm having a little Prosecco.
Oh, very nice. Cheers.
Now, I think we need to bring Ruby in because Ruby is going to have her own show, as we know, on your network, because you're a mogul now, Jim.
I'm Grant Tinker.
You are Grant Tinker, you're Warren Littlefield, you're Merv Griffin, all in one. And people are going, the young people, if there are any young people out there going.
There aren't.
Who? What? There? No. They're all going, who? Grant Tinker. Grant Tinker married to Mary Tyler Moore. Now you remember, come on. Warren Littlefield, no. Okay, not so much. But you've become all those people, and you are going to be helping produce Ruby Lochner's, correct? Her show.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So let's bring Ruby in.
She'll tell us everything we need to know.
Yes.
Hello. Hi.
Hello. There she is with her guitar in the background.
Do
you play guitar, Ruby?
I actually do, but the guitar is set out because my boyfriend has been picking it back up again. I'm very proud of him. So he's been playing it almost every day.
Yeah. Okay. So happy for you. She also plays the guitar, and she's in love with her boyfriend, who's picking it up again, and she's proud of him. Man. Oh,
Julie, the bitterness isn't attractive.
I know it's not. It's terrible. And I'm bitter. Ruby, no, I really am. I'm so thrilled for you. Tell us a little bit about it. September 1st. What have you been doing in preparation for the show?
Oh my gosh. Well, I've been doing everything. I'm going to be hosting it, and I'm going to be producing my own show, which is very funny. Technical producing my own show. So I've been getting everything ready. I've been doing the script. I've been doing the outline. I've been writing the questions. And funny enough, my first guest is a friend of mine and a friend of ours, Kristen Chenoweth. And, I feel like I know her so well, but on the other hand, I feel like I know her so well, but on the other hand, there's just so much more to learn about her. I mean, talk about like an extensive resume. So I've just been doing a ton of prep work. Yes, the show is September 1st, 5 p.m. and you have to get tickets. This is the thing that I keep driving home. You have to get tickets. So if you want a ticket, I'll show you my fancy poster to the Talkback. You can send an email to castpartynetwork@gmail.com. Tickets are only $10. And if you have any questions for Kristen, let me know, because we're actually selecting a few people to come on and ask their questions live, which is really exciting. So I can't wait.
And
it's going to be great.
It's going to be great. And the fact is, you're terrific. And Kristen, the last thing I did before the global pandemic was a workshop of a new musical, and I played Kristen's mother. We're not that far apart in age, but I played her mother. Yes. But I got to tell you, we had so much fun, and she is a generous soul. She's a tremendous star, a tremendous talent, but she wants everyone to do great.
Oh yeah.
And that is a true star in my book. You're not a true star if you're the kind of star that is only good when everyone else is diminished. And someday I'll name names, but not today. But Kristen is not that person.
No.
She's a true sweetheart. So we're very excited for you. I mean, you're taking over the world, Ruby.
Trying.
Bye, Ruby. Bye. You have created a monster.
I mean, I should say, you said I was producing it. I'm not actually producing it. It's on the Cast Party Network. She's a producer on her own right. She doesn't need me, burrowing into all of this, but I'm certainly there if she needs me. That's for sure.
That's going to be fantastic. And what is going to be great is I think it'll be very helpful to a lot of people that are just thinking about getting into the business.
Well, that's really her focus, is to talk to young musical theater students who, especially at this point, are maybe not in class or not able to go to school or not whatever. I think it's going to be really great. And to hear someone like Kristen, who's really done it all, I think will be a really wonderful thing. And she has great stories and is so engaging and has known Ruby like me since she was like 6 years old.
Yeah. No, she's terrific. Well, now, why are we doing this, Jim? We do this, to entertain you.
Yes.
Because, I know some people are getting very restless with the pandemic, and I certainly understand that. And we're coming into the end of summer and we're going into fall. And I actually think it might be a little rougher now that the weather might actually be changing. We need to keep the laughter going, keep the hopefulness going. And we want to do that with this show and all the shows that you're doing. And we also give a portion to the Pulmonary Fibrosis Foundation. For those of you who might not know, my husband passed from complications of the disease in 2018. It's a cause near and dear to my heart. There we have it. Venmo, PayPal. Thousands have been tuning in to this show, and everyone has been so generous over these last, 15 weeks, Jim? But if it can, in your heart, if you can give even a little more, no donation too small or too large. And we have some regulars who give every week. It's so moving. I cannot tell you. And then we have to pay for the platforms. And we're on a lot of platforms because you're Grant Tinker. So there you have it. PayPal and Venmo. And once again, thank you. I cannot thank you enough. And of course, Jim, we're very excited. You know what we have on today.
I've heard.
You've heard.
I read it in TV Guide.
Yeah, exactly. I love this woman, and you love this woman on a very personal level. We actually know Linda Lavin. Actually, I think I actually know everyone that's been on the show, except I didn't really know Mo Rocca that much.
Right.
Now we're just inseparable.
Dating.
And Linda Lavin was actually interviewed by Mo Rocca very recently on CBS This Morning. But Linda Lavin is so iconic. She is a Tony Award winner. She's a Golden Globe winner. She's an Emmy nominee. She's a television icon. She is a cabaret star. She's a recording artist.
Other than that,
does she do anything? She's also just gorgeous and wonderful and just really a superior human. Can we bring her in?
Let's do it.
Linda Lavin. Oh my God. Oh my God. Look, they're outside.
It's we've been invited into Linda's place.
Oh my God. There she.
Look.
Oh, she's killing me.
It's Loretta Young. What's
happening?
It is
Loretta Young.
It's a whole tour of the grounds. Now, this, I'll tell you, is the inn that her husband Steve built, which they have now moved into. It's so great.
Riot.
Look.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Welcome to the Country Suites. You've met Elsie the Borden cow, Porky the pig. This is Mickey, our dog, little Mickey. You know Mickey?
Yes, of course.
And these are the gardens that yours truly is starting to plant, and of course this whole magnificent thing was built and designed by the fabulous Steve Bakunis,
Hello.
whom I am married. And now, the orange door in honor of Jim Caruso, the orange fabuloso.
Matches your tie, Jim.
They know I love orange. What can I say?
Right. We want you here more often, so we paint the door for you.
Okay.
Come on
Look
in.
at this great inn.
This is a 5-suite inn in Spencertown, New York. It is an Airbnb now. And this is the great room.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
You're looking now at the kitchen where I will prepare fabulous meals and do every night.
She does.
She cooks her head off.
She can cook too.
All of this is very much like our home used to be because Steve designed and built this, and we love a great big room, don't you know? So
Well, of course. You're a great hostess, darling.
Thank you, honey. We'd love to have you come up.
Oh, I'll be up.
There's a pond in the yard.
Oh, look at this. Looks great.
Here's our outdoor patio and kitchen area. You remember this table, Jim?
I do. Steve made that.
Tree down like George Washington. He cut this tree down and he made a table out of it. And then there's the grill. I'm learning how to grill. I'm loving it. And here is the parlor, as Julie would say.
Yes.
The Paula.
The Paula.
And then you'll see up here is the staircase going up to the 3 suites, New York, Paris, and Italy. And Jim, you stayed in one. You have to come back. And
I stayed in New York, and there was a Birdland mug hanging there for me. Come on. I mean, what's better than that?
Around the corner, and we'll only go this far, is our private residence. See, I live in a hotel. My dream has come true. I am the older Eloise.
Oh my God. Oh my God. This is
We've
Linda.
taken it over. We're so
This is
happy.
a very special virtual Halston.
How often do you get to see somebody's actual, living situation on a TV show?
On a TV show. I mean, I feel like we're watching an HD TV kind of, isn't that HD?
Yeah.
What is it?
No,
Yeah,
HG,
That's
Home and Garden.
HG. But Linda, this is fantastic.
Isn't this fantastic? Well, look at this, sweetheart. Show this. This is the barn wood. Steve tore down a 250-year-old barn to build this place. And this is the wood that's original to the barn. And the beam on the fireplace, original to the barn. So, and this is the piano and my ass. Sorry. That would be the new piano. Look, I have a new piano. Jim, remember I called you up and I said, how tall is your piano?
It's so beautiful.
Isn't
Oh my
it
God, it's so
beautiful?
shiny.
It's very shiny, like you could see yourself in it.
I can see myself, which is weird.
It's a Yamaha. And I'm going to sit over here now.
All right.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, this is such a nice view
What
of you in that beautiful chair with a pillow that matches my tie.
Linda, this is so fantastic. And can I tell you, we've done a lot of special things on Virtual Halston. We've never had this. This is so special and so unique. And you're giving people a real peek into your home. It's so special. It's so wonderful. And Steve has done an absolutely glorious job. Everyone's going to want to go up to Spencertown.
We want you to. There's Steve right there.
You better
to
come
say
up
hello.
soon. We've been waiting.
Okay.
What's the website, Steve? What's the website to see
There
the?
is no website. Just call us.
No, yeah, you can call us, but it's an Airbnb.
Yeah, we changed it from a bed and breakfast because everybody was Airbnb. So I just got rid of the website and the
You go on the
bed and breakfast,
Airbnb.
and now we're hooked up with Airbnb. But right now it's a COVID center. The county has taken it over as a quarantine center
Upstairs.
Wow.
upstairs. Yeah,
Wow.
it's come yet because there's only like 6 cases in the area.
Right.
So
Well, that's good.
yeah, let's try to keep it that
Very
way. And everybody's good up here. Their masks, the distancing, they're really doing it. So making a difference.
That's all it takes.
Yeah.
That's all it takes.
All right.
And how special of you that you not only have this fantastic inn, but that you were doing this for people who were ill.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Well, that's very Linda, and that's very you.
No,
Generosity.
it's
Generosity.
very kind.
But now talking about generosity,
All right.
and also the fact that this is a woman who reinvents so many things, not only houses, but herself. We have what you've been doing lately, and I think we're going to have Ruby is going to put this on, and I think people need to see this because this is a character that a lot of people on YouTube have fallen in love with. I think Ruby is going to show.
Yeah, we're going to get a whole little 2-minute clip of
Yvette Slosh.
Of Yvette Slosh. Wonderful.
Yvette Slosh, which
Written
is
by-
your
written by Aaron
creation.
Weinstein.
Yes. Ruby is getting that ready now, where you and Aaron Weinstein are
Stein.
Stein.
But who's
Aaron Weinstein,
Yes.
jazz violinist. He
Turns out
what, darling?
turns out to be a fabulous comedy writer and wrote these sketches, and we did them together. Yes.
It's just incredible. So let's
Talking about how much you've been working in the pandemic. I haven't worked as much in those few months in the last few years as nothing, as you said, nothing pays, but how amazing that we were able to turn this time into a time of creativity. Look at you, 15 weeks, amazing.
It's a lot of this is also Jim Caruso. As you know, Linda, Jim is a visionary, and he was the one. He called me up and said, "I want you to do this." And I said, "No." And he said, No. You're going to do this. I said, "No." And then he called me again. He didn't give up.
You don't give up.
And he said, "Julie, I'll do this with you, and you're going to do it." And look what happened. Virtual Halston. And now it just got a rave review in the Cultural Attaché. It was cited in the New York Times.
Saw that.
Thousands of people watch. And we have Linda Lavin on. So can we bring on Yvette Slosh?
Play it, Ruby.
Play it, Ruby.
What are you doing next week? I'll tell you. A gig.
Aren't all the venues still closed?
Not Whole Foods.
Whole Foods? Oh, come on, it can't be that bad.
It's a great career move.
How is stocking kale chips a career move?
What?
What?
No. You're going to play your jazz violin at their flagship store.
Oh, no, I'm not.
Think of the exposure.
To what, COVID?
Bingo.
What?
You'll be in the thick of it. Sharing your music with cashiers, Instacart shoppers.
Well, I do share my music. I'm actually doing a free Zoom concert later this month.
Oh, please. I saw one of those. A whole screen full of people stuck in little boxes. It looked like Hollywood squares on acid.
Well, you're not actually...
Listen, you can't get into the mainstream if you're stuck in a little box.
But you're not really...
Here's how you get out of the box.
You're not in a box. That's just how
You
Zoom
play
looks.
Whole Foods for the hashtag essential workers. We call you the violinist of the virus. Boom!
Excuse me?
You got yourself a career.
Well, first of all, I have a career. I mean, I've been playing some pretty neat venues
Darling,
lately.
those upholstered sewers you play in ain't gonna survive career.
They're called jazz clubs.
Call it what you want. You don't act fast, your career's deader than a Chinese restaurant on Yom Kippur.
Things are going to bounce back.
They just have.
Violinist of the
That's
virus?
TV specials, stadiums, bobbleheads, everything.
Yvette, are you high?
Were you high when you made that album, A Very Jazzy Kwanzaa?
That still gets a considerable amount of radio play.
You know who gets radio play? Dylan. Bob Dylan.
Well, of course.
Sang 2 protest songs in the 60s. He's been coasting ever since.
It's just not true.
Blowing in the what?
He just won the Nobel Prize.
Yeah, see, when you got a gimmick, the sky's the limit. There's the timer. I gotta see how the hell I'm gonna get this color out. Listen, we gotta talk repertoire. I'm thinking that song from Cats, only jazzy. Call me back.
Wow. That is inspired. That was inspired. He's inspired, you're inspired, the writing's inspired, and the way it's done is inspired, and the fact that the phone is the way it is always introduced, correct?
Yes, always. That's exactly right. Yes.
Yeah. Oh, it's so good.
It was so much fun to do. We did 1 a week. We've done a season, Julie. We've done 13. So we have 13 episodes.
Yeah, that's a season. Darling, you could sell it. You could sell this.
I'm looking.
Me too, honey. We're putting together a sizzle wheel of virtual Halston highlights. Wonderful. And the management is going out there because people really do want to see these kind of things. And why not? Right? I mean, people are bored. They're sad. They're anxious. And it's Again, nourishment. It's nourishment.
That's a wonderful word for it. It's a real connection with people in a way that I had no idea. When I did the concerts with Billy, I did one a week. We did matinees on Wednesday afternoons from my apartment. And then this sketch with Aaron, 25,000 people a week. If I toured for my whole life, I would never meet that many people. And,
exactly.
And of course, what you're getting now, the connection and the approbation and hearing from people who are telling you that you are taking the moment to connect, give hope, give laughter, not to deny what's happening, but to encompass it. The thing about these, doing a concert of songs is, what do I sing each week when we're dealing with fear and depression and sadness, higher with hope and kindness and just the generosity of performing in a time where we're living through the unknown on so many levels. So I think this is wonderful that you're doing it and doing this show. And I was very glad to be doing mine. And then there was a time where I just needed to come up to the country and just be a country girl and cook. And Steve was in,
of course,
country. He was in Costa Rica for almost 5 months. So I was isolating in my apartment with my little dog, Mickey. And so I got to now you have all these shows. I have a repertoire of about 80 songs now because Billy and I would, Billy Stritch and I would do these concerts.
Yeah, no. And we have a photo. There you are. Look at you.
Yeah.
Look at you. It's so fantastic. I mean, that is
all dressed up. We got all dressed up and we sang and played and did duets together and said hello to people and performed and entertained and look, when something like, as you put it, when a global pandemic comes into your life, which we don't even have any reference for.
Right.
What do you do to participate? What can we do as citizens? I thought, should I cook? Should I do Meals on Wheels? And I called institutions and said, what can I do? And they said, do what you love to do and do concerts. And I thought,
yes.
Really?
Yes.
Yes. And then, of course, it was validated by people on the street. I'm sure this is happening to you too, Julie.
It is.
Oh my God.
It's really true. And I've heard from people that, I haven't heard from in years. And they're like, I happened to watch your show. But it's fantastic.
And then there's Facebook. And I've never done Facebook and I've never done YouTube. And now I'm all that now.
It's all that. Exactly. We've become social media stars. Forget Kim Kardashian. It's Linda Lavin. It's right. Julie Halston. Linda Lavin is a national treasure. That's what Eric Perry says. And a lot of people have been actually writing in right now, Linda, and it's really fantastic. They loved Yvette Slosh. Can we go back in time a little?
Of course.
Can I bring up a few things? I was fascinated to know, because I do know you, but I don't know everything about you, of course. I didn't know that you, a nice Jewish girl from Maine, went to the College of William and Mary in Virginia.
Yes, well, I did.
Well, now, why? How did you enjoy it? Was it a culture shock?
Oh, I loved it. I was, at the time, everybody was going to school in Boston because it was close to Portland, Maine, and it was the big city. And I couldn't get a scholarship, and there was no money at that point, and I needed some financial aid. Mm-hmm. And also academically, I got a scholarship into Wellesley, but I didn't get accepted academically. So I was poor enough, but not smart enough. I've never said that on any social media or any.
Oh.
So I didn't go to Wellesley and I didn't go to BU or any of those schools, but I knew that I wanted to be an actor and a performer. And I had a cousin, a friend of my mother's who I called Aunt Sarah. She wasn't really my aunt. She came from Virginia and she said, why don't you look into William and Mary? It comes from the outside sometimes, but it all comes from God. All of a sudden it was like, what? I don't even. And so my mother and I took a trip down to Williamsburg, Virginia. And I tell you, I took a look at that school, and it was a small school. There were at that time only 1,700 students.
Wow.
Now there are that many thousands, but it was
Right.
a small school, and I was a late bloomer on every aspect of life. So I didn't want to go to a big technical Carnegie Tech kind of a school.
Right.
I wanted to be more, I wanted to feel safe. And it turned out to be a perfect place for me, because I auditioned for a play as soon as I got there. And I got the lead in Dial M for Murder. And they put me on the cover of the newspaper because no freshman had gotten a lead in a play for 15 years. And I was wearing my freshman beanie. I mean, this was it was the 50s. So
this is fantastic. This is fantastic.
My life in the theater began at William and Mary, and I worked for 3.5 years. I took summer school courses, and I did summer stock, and I got my equity card the first year, and then I accelerated because I really wanted to get out of college. I went to college only for my mother. I really wanted to get to New York and start my career. But this started my life in the theater. I got out of William and Mary, and I had so much under my belt in terms of experience and acting technique, and the varsity show every year because I could sing. So I had a wonderful life. It made my life was really magnificent at William and Mary. And then
I never knew this about you. And I know we know quite a lot about you, but I never knew this about you. And that's a wonderful story. It's a wonderful story.
You know of the school? Is that why you
Well, no, I have known people who have gone to the College of William and Mary, and it was much more in their wheelhouse kind of thing. But to travel from Maine to William and Mary, it's a little different. So, and also these are people that were technical; they're not in the arts.
I see.
So that's why I found it interesting.
Yeah.
But then you did come to New York. You started doing theater. You were in Broadway shows. And of course, you did create a big sensation when you were in It's a Bird, It's a Plane, It's Superman. And you sang, there you are. Look at you, darling. Wow. You've got possibilities, Linda Lavin. And then you go to Hollywood in 1973 and you're on Barney Miller. And then boom, your world really changed with Alice.
Absolutely.
And I think we actually have Alice. There's Alice. There's Alice.
Alice.
It changed your life, didn't it?
On every level possible. It was a kind of, that was iconic. That connection with a working woman, the blue and pink collar women in this country, politicized me because I was asked to speak at Equal Rights Amendment gatherings, and I was asked to march in Washington with Gloria Steinem and Bella Abzug because we were working on the ERA, and Alice represented 80% of all the women who work in this country.
And that is still going on.
Still going on. And we did episodes about Alice not making as much money as the man that Mel hired, and that's still going on. And in 1975, when the show began, women were making 69 cents to the dollar that men were making for the equal quality of work. And now we're up to 80 cents. And that's all in all these years. And that doesn't even go into women of color.
Look at you, baby. There you are on the cover of Ms. Magazine.
Yeah, that's Gloria Steinem put me there. I reached out to her when I got hired to play Alice. They built the Alice story is a story in itself, how that came about. But I called her and I said, I'm going to play a working woman. I don't know anything about this life. Can you put me in touch with writers who can bring up, and teach me the issues, give us some ideas for story ideas. And she did. And then a year or two later, she put me on the cover. And if you look at that cover, Julie, workplace harassment, sexual harassment.
Oh, yes.
Equal pay.
It's right there.
And look at the year. What is that?
1980.
So look where we are.
1980.
Yeah. And we're still talking about harassment in the workplace.
It's unbelievable. And I can tell you, I had a friend who was a secretary, struggling actress, working, typing away.
Right.
And she was working for a publisher. Gloria Steinem came in because she, was a working writer. And she said she was walking through the typing pools. Remember typing pools, And she was with all these guys. And she said the only person who asked us what our names were, who we were, if we were happy working there, was Gloria Steinem. Wow. And she came back to the office weeks later, and she remembered every one of those secretaries' names.
Yeah, a remarkable woman. Yeah, remarkable.
And meanwhile, those girls' bosses never knew their names.
Miss Yoo-hoo.
Yeah, oh. Miss Yoo-hoo. Yeah. How about that? So come on now.
Wonderful story. Yeah, she was a wonderful mentor to me, and Alice was a wonderful mentor to me. Alice got me up on stages talking and to rallies, to labor rallies. There was this huge labor rally at the Washington Memorial, and I was on stage with Pete Seeger and talking to thousands of people of organized labor from all over the country about the issues of working women. I had never spoken in front of large groups before at all. I was an actor, I was a performer, and
of course.
So,
and Alice, in a way, what I think is so fascinating is you ended up directing.
Yeah.
You ended up playing a second character, Debbie Walden, I believe, on Alice.
Yes.
Yes. So you came up with it's almost like Alice empowered Linda, Linda empowered Alice.
That's absolutely true, Julie. That's absolutely right. And that happens, when a part so illuminating, and when you identify so deeply with so many millions of people. We had 40 million people a week who were watching us, Julie. We were in the top 10 for 9 years.
9 years.
My father used to call me up and gives me the ratings every week.
Yeah. My mother was obsessed with Alice, and it was interesting. Yeah, my mother, I remember my dad and my mom getting into a big argument because my mom, again, being empowered, said, Rudy, we have 3 girls that we have to put through college, and I'm going back to work. And he said, no, you're not. And she said, yes, I am. And she watched Alice, and she ended up becoming a part-time salesperson for Montgomery Ward. And she helped pay for my teeth and my college.
Bless her. Wow.
How about it? And that was an Alice moment. Yeah. She loved Alice. And then
women would come up to me like your mother and say, I didn't think I had it in me, but I'd watch Alice and I'd think if she can do it, I can do it. Yeah. That was the power, and still is the power of television and now of the internet.
That's correct.
Reach through these blocks that we're sitting in right now.
Right. I know. I almost feel I can touch you. I feel like I can touch you.
No.
It's so crazy. It is wonderful. And I just saw you on CBS this morning, and Mo Rocca, who's been on our show and is a friend.
Brilliant.
Yes. Isn't he adorable? He's fantastic. He's also just damn smart. You did talk about the fact that, after the age of 40, Hollywood really doesn't want you to be a leading lady and, whatnot. It's a little difficult. And then you also felt that shift. And you came back to New York and said, oh, I think I'm going to be in the theater. And then suddenly we see this glorious performance, Broadway Bound. I think we have, there you are.
Look at that. Yeah.
Look at that. Look at that cast. Look at that cast. Jason Alexander. Is that Jonathan Silverman?
Phyllis Newman.
Yeah. Wow. And of course, you won the Tony Award. And I actually watched your Tony speech just the other night. It was so moving. You clearly were so touched.
I was ready, I'll tell you that. I just want to say that was Phil Sterling playing the husband in that picture, and John Randolph, who also won a Tony that night. Supporting actor. He played my father, and you know, that night was my mother had passed away. I invited my father. My father came and wore a tuxedo. I'd been told I was going to win, which is like a kiss of death, you know.
Right.
Don't ever believe that stuff. But I got a beautiful gown. Anyway.
Oh yes. Oh, I saw it. I saw that. Yes, it was beautiful.
You know, you think about this. What if it happens? What do I say? How many seconds do you have? How do you say everything you want to say? How do you thank people in that time? You know, I don't remember getting up on the stage. I think I was in a blackout from the time I said my name. I somehow thought, I think I crawled up on onto the stage.
You did a beautiful job. I watched it. Linda, we have a question for you. Ruby's going to put it up.
Okay.
Your Mama Rose was phenomenal and very sad. Can you share what your process was to play her? Bobby Ducharme, this is someone I know in California. I actually was going to ask that question, Bobby. So great minds think alike. So can you talk about when you played Mama Rose and how?
Well, first of all, when I was offered it, I went into the subway and waited until the train came, and I started singing Rose's Turn, so that I wanted to know if I could sing that loud. So I went down into the subway and sang, but I at least gotta try. You know, I just belted the hell out of myself, and I thought, yes, I can do this. And it was 1990, and I was going through a very big shift in my life. I was in a law office. I was about to go into a trial. I took a divorce to trial, and I also took on Mama Rose. So it was quite a year. And
oh yes,
your questioner is asking saying it was very sad and what was my process. So first of all, I had to find out that I could sing it. Then I went to a wonderful vocal coach, Joan Lader, who's very good. And Joan got me strong, and I studied with her twice a week on the score. And I did the reservoir every day, learning the score. And I walked and sang and walked and sang. It was the process is getting ready for an athletic event. That's how you get ready to play Mama Rose.
It really is. Yeah.
And the emotional part of it was to connect with that part of me that I connected with in terms of Rose Hovick. I listened to, they came from the Dakotas, and I listened to that pattern of speech, and I had a wonderful time working on her, because what I wanted to find was this woman who was yearning and who had given up so much of herself to her children.
Yeah.
That the anger that was impacting in her over and over again, she pushed down and pushed it on them. It's easy to call somebody a stage mother, but a mother is a woman, and a woman has a life of her own. It isn't all about her children, but this became that. And who was she really? And what did she want for herself? And that's what Rose's Turn, that beautiful piece of writing. I think it's the best American musical ever written for a woman. I think
I could watch a middle school do it and cry. I really could. It's so great. And that number, of course, Stephen Sondheim, I believe, wrote it at 27 or something. It was it's unbelievable. It's a work of genius. Now, Linda, you do tend, particularly with the stage work, you have done a number of mothers, like the Lions and Marjorie and The Tale of the Allergist's Wife, and, of course, Gypsy. These are very strong-minded people who are also full of rage in many ways. And how do you tap into that? I know you as a very joyful, very generous woman, but you can tap into the rage very quickly. I can too, and I think I know where it comes from, and I think some of it is thwarted situations. But I want to know from you how you tap into that. Those are women you have played with great success.
Thank you, Julie. You know, there's history. There are women I come from who felt and experienced a lot of loss in life.
Mm.
And I think rage comes from loss, from grief, from trauma, from stuff that's unexpressed, from fear.
Yeah.
I'm very much in touch with my own anger. I come from a history of women who knew how to express anger right away. It was the first language, shall we say, in the house.
Yes. Okay. Yes.
And so it's not a big stretch for me, but to find what's underneath it, what causes it, what's the pain underneath it, how is it a source of comedy too?
Yes. Yes.
All those pieces that you're talking about were, you know, Nikki Silver writes vicious comedy. This is comedy. So does Charles Bush.
Right.
You know,
right.
these are women who are, you know, depressed or possessed with yearning. You know.
Yes, and they're also wicked smart, as they would say in Boston. Wicked smart.
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah. Well, now, in 2005, you married Steve, whom we met earlier, and he's a lovely guy. You do not, very much like me, we don't have our own biological children, but you're a stepmom, you're a grandma.
I am.
And I am.
One of the grandchildren just had a baby.
Oh, there you go. There you go. And I have great grandchildren.
Wow.
And it's crazy, right? Because I don't look it, do I? I don't. No, we don't look it.
What are we talking about here?
Yeah, what are we talking about? And it is a riot, Linda. Sometimes my grandchildren call me and they go, "Well, hi, Grandma. How are you?" I think, who are they talking to? Who are they talking to? And they're so dear. But has that been challenging? Has it been a joy? Has it been difficult? How has it been for you to be? And they clearly must adore you and look to you. And
the grandchildren, for my daughter's children, when she was about to give birth to her little girl, she said, "What do you want to be called?" And because I had lived in North Carolina, I said, "I want to be Meemaw."
Oh, yes.
And Steve said he'd be Peepaw. So we were like, okay, we're going to be country folk. And so we are Meemaw and Peepaw. Then she gave birth to her second child. And I said, "I don't think I want to be that anymore." She said, "Too bad, that's your name."
Yeah, yeah.
So to those children, I am Meemaw, and we are Meemaw and Peepaw. And to my son's children, and who lives in Costa Rica, which is why we went there.
Oh.
We are Grandma Linda and Grandpa Steve. And
there you go.
And I tell you, all I want to do when I go there is have Sunday dinner with this whole family and cook for them and just be that and be Grandma Linda and Grandpa Steve. I want that in my life because these kids have been so wonderful in my life. These are kids I raised when they were very little, and they're now grown up and they have kids of their own. And how lucky am I, from the marriage to their father, which did not work out on any level, to have inherited this wonderful family of kids. It's a real blessing to me. So I do love it. But I do that. I don't want to be grandma all the time.
Yeah. No, I understand. It is a riot though when they call. And my youngest is Lindsay, who was Ralph's. You knew my late husband, Ralph. His youngest had a baby, Hazel Mae Masterson, the cutest child on the planet, of course. And I call myself Nana Bananas because I'm nuts. But she calls me Jewel. It's so cute. Jewel. It's so cute. And it's ridiculous. And I'm about as maternal as this phone, but I like it.
You must be so much fun for them. And that's the possibility, the kids are going to come up this week, and I'm so looking forward to who to being with them and to seeing how they are with me and why they want to be with me. It's quite amazing and wonderful.
It is.
To be now that's another character for us to play.
Absolutely. Now, darling, you have a new CD, which, by the way, just got a rave review. Just yesterday. Just yesterday got a rave review.
From
and there it is. Linda Lavin, Love Notes. Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. And how about the fact that you're still the sexiest woman alive? Look at you. How about those legs? I mean, come on. Carly Simon in the 70s has nothing on you. Come on. No, she has nothing on you. Now, it's no secret, Jim and what, sweetheart?
I have to credit Bill Westmoreland. You know Bill.
He's the best. We went, I guess it was 2008. Let's bring up a photo. You, me, Alex Haas, Billy Stritch, Jim Caruso. We were in Wilmington, North Carolina. And there we are. Look at us.
I was going to show you. I have the poster and I forgot to bring it out. And
that's all right.
Hung it up, the poster. That was the first concert I ever put together. And you were good enough to come down to Wilmington, North Carolina and knock them dead on that stage that night, Julie. Oh my God, you are so wonderful. And you are such a wonderful comedian and a wonderful performer. And you sang. We had the best time. Billy put all those songs together.
Absolutely. We were with the maracas and the little drums, and we had so much fun. Yeah. And you have a very special relationship with Wilmington, North Carolina. You also started the Linda Lavin Foundation. You do all this work with the girls, the young women of North Carolina. That were really at risk.
That's right.
That's right.
There was a certain period in my life when I did a program called What Girls Know. And then we called it Girlfriends, which was a little more familiar for them.
Yes.
Working with girls to develop their ability to tell their stories and dramatize and sing and perform and come out of themselves and keep that joy, the thrust that little girls have. You know, you're talking about your little granddaughter,
right?
Your Jewel, that pizzazz, you know, we want that to grow into a pizzazzy woman and a powerful woman. And we don't want that to get lost. And at the age of 9, it starts to get squashed by the institutions. And so I learned how to do this work. I don't do it anymore, but it really gave me a full life to do that work. And then we raised money that night at the concert.
That's right. That's what we did. If you're enjoying this show, and I can't imagine that you're not, please feel free to tip us. We have to pay for the platforms. There you go. Linda, I don't have to pay for my eyelashes anymore because Ardell has given me a year's supply. My Ardell Wispies. Yes, they've sponsored us. It's unbelievable. So I don't have to pay for my lashes anymore. But please feel free to tip us. I hope you're enjoying this incredible conversation with this incredible woman. And we do give a portion every week to the Pulmonary Fibrosis Foundation.
Wonderful.
Yeah, so it's really been quite amazing. And people have been very generous. So thank you so much. Now, I think we're going to bring Jim back in.
Great.
And I actually forgot to do an aspirational quote. I just realized. Jim, come back.
Yes. You should do this now because I think Linda will want to take part in this.
I was going to say, Linda, we do. And it's actually the perfect thing. Every week, I like to do an aspirational quote. Usually it's from Joan Crawford because, as you know, she's my Bible. And somebody sent this to me because we get people who send in things, which is so fun. And this is a direct quote from Joan, and I thought I'd share it with you and our audience. While other people eat dessert, I eat a dill pickle. I like things sour, and I like to finish a meal with something like that. It's better than a sweet, of course. My mouth only waters for a nice, juicy, kosher pickle. So now, Linda, do you like a nice, juicy, kosher pickle yourself?
Do, but not now that I've heard you do it. Ever look at a pickle again without hearing you? describe it. You became the pickle, as you said it. That's onomatopoeia, I think. Absolutely. Oh my God.
That's the quote. That's the quote of the day, Linda. You became the pickle.
You became the pickle.
Linda Lavin.
Nothing that makes me laugh more than listening to you read Joan Crawford or wedding announcements. You know, I could listen to you for the rest of my life, and that's all I'd need.
Well, darling, this has been extraordinary. Jim, do you have anything you want to say to Linda? I mean, do you have anything and you have some other, I think some other graphics or something, and I don't see you, Jim. Are you there?
I'm so here.
Okay, I hear you, but I don't see you. We might have to bring Ruby in again.
I'm assuming if Ruby's not here that they can see me.
Oh, okay, good.
I'm so excited about Linda's album, which we touched on before.
Yes.
And then it's doing so well. It is the most beautiful music with some original stuff, some great American standards.
Yes.
I mean, Linda's team is as good as it gets.
Top notch.
Billy Stritch is the musical director and wrote most of the charts. Aaron Weinstein is the guest jazz violinist and mandolinist and wrote some of the charts. Wayne Hahn, the producer, and his partner Joel Lindsay wrote a centerpiece song called Stars Would Fall.
Ooh.
And then, you guys, he took the recording that we did in New York back to Nashville and filled a studio with 33 orchestra musicians. And there are 3 songs on the album that have been orchestrated that are so gorgeous that I cannot not cry when I listen to that album. The first time I heard it, I was in the car and I thought I was going to die. I was so moved. It's and it's a lot of fun. The album is fun and jazzy, and there you are. And I'm so happy with it. Great musicians, Jeff Barone on guitar, Tom Hubbard on bass, Daniel Glass, Jim, on drums. And it's called Love Knows. It's a bunch of love songs. And we're on Spotify. Just last week, we went up to 22,000 streamers. I don't even know what I'm talking about. Got 22,000 of them.
And Jim, did you write the liner notes?
I wrote some of them. Yes, Billy Stritch and I both wrote our thoughts about Linda, about our dear friend Linda and her enormous talent.
Because I want you to, because you started this whole thing, Jim Caruso. I used to go to see Jim in cabaret, and I'd say, "How do you do this?" And he'd say, "You should do this." And I'd say, no. And he, like you said, no. And then finally he got me a job and he said, "Now you have to do it. I've got you a job." So over 20, maybe 15, 20 years ago. It's over 15 now. You got me.
He is our Mama Rose. He's our Mama Rose.
Rose.
Oh, God, without the rage.
Not the rage. No. We have a lot of questions for Linda Lavin. There's a lot of people who, so I think we have some questions for Linda. So put them up. Okay. Which song does Linda feel is her theme song? Ooh, that's a good question.
I love that. Well, the first song that I ever sang, baby, my mother said, I stood up in my crib and sang "God Bless America." She said I hadn't spoken yet. I was keeping a secret. America. But that's not my theme song. One of my favorite songs, and the song that inspired me to want to be a singer, an actor, was "Long Ago and Far Away."
Oh, yeah.
And you still do it. You still do it at the piano.
I do it at the piano. It's not on the album, but the songs on the album, all of them are my favorites.
Of course. And I think we have another question. I think we have 2 more. In your career, what would you say was the most memorable moment? Well, you've had so many memorable moments.
Yes. I saw somebody fall out of their seat once during, but this comes up in the moment, during a Tale of the Allergist Wife. I looked out and the man had fallen out of his seat. He was laughing so hard he fell right out of his seat.
Oh, I love it.
People lift him up. I mean, we all stopped and looked at it, I think. But that's a moment. I don't know. I'm not very good at those things. Tell us your favorite moment, or what's your, I'm so in the moment and so not about history. If I were sitting down like with Jim, who's a great historian and remember everything you tell him because he's a great listener.
Yes. Yes.
If Jim would be able to remember me better than I can remember me. I think that's true, right?
Linda, tell the end. Tell the end.
Oh, the end. Okay, this is a moment, and Jim was in the audience for this. I was doing a play called Collected Stories.
Yes.
In LA at the Geffen with Samantha Mathis as the young writer, and I played the elder writer. And at the end of the play, the elder writer with whom I was connected, I was playing her, is very, very ill. We don't know what the illness is, but it's serious. And she's angrier than ever, and she's all alone. And the lights start to go down, and the phone is ringing, and she's just kicked somebody out of the house. And there's nobody more miserable in the world than this woman. And it's a beautiful play, beautifully written, caringly written about the loss that this woman has suffered. And in the silence of the dimming of the lights at the last moment of the play, I heard this from the audience. The end.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Uh-huh.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
How many times have I made you do that for me?
Oh my God. Oh my God.
You gave me a little statuette bookend that says the end. The end. The end. Like that. Like cutting through a moment
Oh my God.
of such grief that, and I remember thinking I really wanted to look out and say, really? I remember that. Really? You think?
I remember coming backstage.
Backstage. Yes.
You were like,
best story ever.
you were like enraged. And I said, it was so good. You were so great. And Linda said, she said the end.
That's all I could think of.
No, that's the killer. Well, I remember one time doing a show, and somebody was going to attack me, and this woman in the audience went, "Oh, here it goes."
Oh, wow.
I know.
Same lady.
Yes.
Same lady.
Don't be shy. Feel free. Speak up.
Billy Stritch is howling. Ruby, do we have one more question or no? If not, we really have to go. Linda.
The end.
The end. This is fantastic. I want to urge people, once again, if you've enjoyed this, please feel free to tip us. I've had the best time in the whole world. I can't tell you. Linda, you're such an extraordinary woman. You're a great, great artist, but you really are a superior human. And I think that's what I love the very most about you. You're engaged, you're in the world. From the time you were a child singing God Bless America till probably your final moment, the end. You are engaged.
Play that at my memorial.
That's right.
I'm in charge of that one.
You are truly the best.
You guys are so generous. I'm just going to say to your audience, give her all your money.
Oh, bless you.
Buy tickets for Julie and the foundation. To be with you is beyond a dream. I'm so in love with both of you right now, and I'm so grateful. And Ruby, what a wonderful young person who really knows how to help a person like myself to connect. You guys, thank you. I've had the most wonderful time. Thank
you, darling.
We'll
see you up there in that wonderful place. And next week, we have the fabulous Broadway star, Debbie Gravitt, and we have the rising star. Yes, there they are, Alex Getland. We're very excited. And please follow me on Twitter at Julie Halston and Instagram, actress Julie Halston. This was phenomenal.
I'm
phenomenal.
On too, and I have my own YouTube channel. And what's that other one? Facebook Live. But it's Linda Lavin Official if you want to find me. And I can say all that now because I understand so much. Lots of love to you both. Thank you.
Mwah.
Mwah. See you soon.
What more is there to say?